touch with us. So that being that, we're going to move on, Sandman, to the next topic. But before we do, I want to do a station identification break. You're tuned into the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast, the most underrated hip hop podcast out there. Right now, your number one exclusive source for all things hip hop with your brother Sandman over there and your brother Oh God. If you're enjoying the content today, we need you to do just two favors. Go ahead and hit that 5-star rating, and do not forget to subscribe to the podcast to get all future upload. Sam, and I think we're going to talk about, let's do the Dave Chapelle. Okay. We'll talk about Dave Chapelle because you were introducing me and saying that I need to check out his Netflix special.
Yeah, man. So I looked at it last night when it premiered, and then I checked it out earlier today because I just wanted to watch it twice, and I wanted to grab some content from it just to talk about today. Funny as hell, man, especially if you get into that kind of humor. He was letting it just all go. A lot of the shit that we talk about, those gray areas, he went and just fucking kicked down the door, and it was hilarious. Well, one of the topics that he talked about was Kevin Hart and the Oscars and him getting in trouble, and he had a real great way of just spinning everything and telling great stories through all of his comedy. And he got on Kev a little bit. Now, they're friends. Let me start out by saying that. Close, but just the digs were funny, and I know that it would get some good commentary from us.
Can you imagine such a thing? Kevin Hart, let me tell you something. It was Kevin Hart's dream to host the Oscars. That's what he told me. I remember when he told me, because I was thinking to myself, well, this is an awfully strange dream for an African American. What kind of nigga dreams of hosting the Oscars? Kevin did, that's who. And he did it. Against all the odds, Kevin became the most famous comedian this world has ever seen, and he got the job that only one black man before him had. He was going to host the 80th Oscars. And I don't know what you know about Kevin, but I know Kevin Hart is damn near perfect. As close to perfect as anybody I've ever seen. In fact, Kevin is precisely 4 tweets shy of being perfect. 10 years ago, Kevin had made some very homophobic comments. I'm not going to repeat what he said because this is Atlanta. You know what I mean. I'm sure there's a lot of gay men here tonight with their wives. Far be it from me to offend anybody. All right, I'll tell you what he said. But just remember, these were not my words. These were Kevin's words. It was a long time ago. And I'm paraphrasing because I'm not good at telling other people's jokes. Okay, Kevin said that if his little son was demonstrating or exhibiting homosexual behavior around the house, that he'd chastise him. He'd say, hey, that's gay. And then he said he would smash a dollhouse over that child's head. Ooh, the gay community was furious. And I don't blame them. I got a lot of gay friends. And all of them, 100% of them, all have told me fucking horror stories about the shit they had to go through just to be themselves. Crazy, crazy stories. And in all those stories, I gotta say, not one of them has ever mentioned anything like their father smashing a fucking dollhouse over their head. Because clearly Kevin was joking. Think about it. You would have to buy this nigga a dollhouse to break it over his head in the first place. Does that sound right? Is anybody gonna do that? The gay community was upset, and then they put so much pressure on the Academy of Motion Pictures and Sciences that they went to Kevin and said, if you don't apologize to that community, then you cannot host these Oscars. And then Kevin said, fuck it, I quit. And then he went on every talk show in America and apologized for 6 weeks.
All right, man, just a snippet of what the fuck Dave Chapelle got going on over there. Sticks and Stones. Shit's hilarious. Go check it out on Netflix now, man. Oh, God, like I said, it's a fun topic. Obviously, they cool. But what you think about what he said about Kev, man?
I mean, he just told the truth. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's the great thing about comedy is that you can tell, you know, the blatant truth about somebody, and it just, as opposed to him just coming out and saying it in a Twitter rant and he made a hater or somebody, you know, to say he's on drugs or he's going off the rocker. He can put it in a way where people could just laugh it off, but it's 100% true. And what he left out about Kevin Hart is that Kevin Hart said, "Look, I already apologized for it already." So you know what I mean? So yeah, he left that part out a little bit, but he did go on, obviously they the proverbial whip, as we like to say, was lashed down on Kev, and he had to apologize.
Yeah, man. And again. Yeah, and they're very close. You've heard that in any interview that you listen to, whether that be Kev or Dave Chapelle talking. They're real close, and it was cool. But that's that comedy stage, that raw and uncut stage where you can just say what you got to say. And hey, man, sometimes you just got to laugh shit off. And Kev had to take those smacks because first off, I ain't know another nigga that wanted to do Oscars outside of Kev for it to be their dream either. So for him to put that out there was funny as hell. And then just to go in on the gay community, a real sensitive topic, for him just saying fuck it and going on, you gotta watch it, man. It's funny as hell. If you're a real motherfucker and not so overly sensitive, you'll enjoy this. But if you are, don't click it because you'll get offended. I'm telling you right now. If you're easily offended, if you're one of those people that take little rib jabs and then want to start tweeting and complaining, don't click it. Because he's coming at your throat, and it's hilarious.
Wow. And is it him on stage or?
Yeah.
What?
And it's needed.
Man.
It's needed. And I got to give Kev, as much as I root for Kev, we said it on here numerous times. I've watched him see Kev the Bastard. He's out of Philadelphia.
Right.
For him to be where he's at right now, man, I salute him. I applaud him. I'm happy for him. But his last show was watered down. Ooh. It was watered down because he was trying to please other people so that opportunities would no longer leave him like the Oscars did. Dave Chapelle said, fuck your opportunities.
That's right.
Fuck this. I'm getting back to comedy. And that's why I loved it, man. So I'm going to watch it again. Even if because after a couple times you watch a comedy show, the shit ain't funny no more. But you can watch it and just enjoy it. Tells a great story, man. And
that's the great, a lot of people talk about America, even though you could be chastised and you could lose endorsement for saying what you say. For the most part, man, you can, express yourself. You know what I mean? And this what makes the greatest, orators, I think, is people who are able to express themselves freely. Kevin Hart, obviously is one of the best. But when you start not, tiptoeing through the tulips and not want to offend this and that, and you're a comedian, so you could do it, and you stop doing that, and it comes out, and people who are fans of Kevin Hart, because I'm not like a fan from early on, but you are. Yeah. You see the difference. Like, yo, Kev, you're watering shit down
what you doing, man?
To appease a mainstream audience because you don't want to, lose, like you're saying, man said, opportunities that's going to come in the future. You don't want to lose that. So you're going to continue to do this. And at the same time, you're losing genuine fans because they go on to, Dave Chapelle, because they said Dave Chapelle gonna say fuck it and throw the house at you.
And that's why it was real. I was inspired by watching it because I got to keep it 100. You and I, we tiptoed a little bit through the pedals in our journey through this podcast, keeping it uncut real. We always kept it 100, kept it real, but we always took the gas off the pedal where we can go 90, and we took it and said, all right, now we'll keep it to speed limit. We'll go 55. And we took some criticism for it, and that's not because we were afraid. No, we're trying to appease. And we were like, no, the second we said, fuck it. If it does what it does, it does what it does, whatever, we're going to get real.
Yeah.
That's when the different opportunities and the success really started coming. So it comes to a point where, and Kevin's on a far grander stage than we were when we had to come to this realization. But it's like, maybe if he came to the realization, knew it, and then they whipped him so hard that he couldn't get back, and now he's just cool where he's at. He's cool where he's at. But I think Kevin can be back on the stage as one of the funniest when you see Eddie Murphy's coming back, Dave Chapelle rocking out.
Yeah.
You could be sitting along those greatest of all times if you just say fuck it and let it loose.
Let it go.
You got it in.
So we definitely rooting for you, Kevin Hart, over here on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. The next story saying, man, Richard Pryor's bodyguard. We were looking up last night, and I seen it on my Instagram, and I'm like, whoa, I had to send it to you. I know, this is, something that you follow real closely. Big fan of, both of these gentlemen here. What's going on with Richard Pryor's bodyguard?
Bruh, dog. So when you sent it, you sent the picture, and I just looked, and I was like, oh shit.
Right.
I immediately went on YouTube and looked it up because I'm a fan of Comedy Hype. Shout out to them. They like no other. It seemed like anybody that ever sits wherever they got them